Okay, so the first thing is we can do a roll call to, do you normally have everybody say their name or? Okay, so Molly Brown, I'm here. Trish Bartell.
Present.
Gary Katamara.
Present.
Katayama.
Present.
Jim Salio.
Present.
Brad Spar.
Here.
Becky McFarland.
Here.
Jacob Taylor. I see that Jacob's here. Larry Bender.
Present.
All right. So let's see, chairperson announcements. The one announcement that I have is that we have 2 new members of LOCAC that are also going to be on the land use committee, Jim Celio and Brad Farr. So welcome to the committee and welcome to LOCAC. We're happy to have you guys.
Pleasure to be here.
Let's see, do you have any announcements, Trish?
Nope, I do not.
Okay. Are there any other council member announcements?
I guess you'd consider this an announcement. I was wondering if everyone was aware of an amendment to the LCP that discusses guest houses. Are you aware of that amendment they want to do?
No.
No.
Okay, and I don't know if people knew that in the Coastal Commission's report that came out before that meeting in June, they stated that there was no cap on the number of guest houses that could be built. And so this, what this says here is where the unit cap would apply to new residential ADUs, but would not apply to LCP defined guest houses because such structures, excuse me, I was running around before, are better understood as room additions to existing single-family homes than their own independent units, including that they are prohibited from having kitchen facilities and/or utility services. New water-using development that is not subject to the residential unit cap could be allowed if the groundwater basin is at or below its sustainable yield. And it goes on, but I don't know if people are aware that these are basically 2-bedroom homes with a bathroom, living room, etc. A lot of them are on giant garages. And there's at least 6 of them that have gone in the last couple of years. So it's saying, if the water's okay, they'll allow it, but they already are allowing it. So when they're telling us that the growth management ordinance is just 60 houses, it's not, because there's no cap on these at all. And I think it's something that should be discussed. I'll email this to everybody so that you can look at it. Yeah, but I think that's pretty important because they're not required to retrofit to build. So basically we have an unlimited number of 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes with no retrofitting and no cap. So I think that's kind of a major thing.
Well, thank you for that. And we will check with Claire and the county also to get some clarification on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other announcements from council members? Okay, hearing none. Now we go to public comment for items not on the agenda, and each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak, and we will not have any discussion on these comments. We'll just listen to the speaker. And I think that Bob Simonson was here and wanted to speak. Okay, why don't you go ahead?
Am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm working on a project on the corner of 2nd and Santa Maria that has actually had 3 minor use permits approved since 2003 on it. But anyway, the problem we're having, and LOCAC heard this project and approved it in 2016. We're thinking we'll probably end up coming back to LOCAC, but right now we're in negotiations with Public Works on the street section of Santa Maria. And the old LOCAC, or not the old LOCAC, what we did back in the 90s and early 2000s as part of the downtown Baywood concept, we wanted to keep Santa Maria to allow diagonal parking. And part of the reason for that was the parking issues, but the other part of it was to maintain a wide enough road section to be able to accommodate the farmers market. And the new, and that was all approved 3 times with that section. Well, now Public Works is coming back and they want us to cut the road section down, or the width of it, by 10 feet. And that leaves 10 feet outside of the property line that's no man's land. And then we have a sidewalk, and then we have parallel parking. And I designed the parallel parking to be the same depth as the diagonal parking would be. And it's gonna, if we do what the Public Works wants, we're gonna end up with a street width of only 41 feet. And there's no way the farmer's market can be accommodated within that width, at least the way it's configured today. So I wanted to bring it to your attention, but also what I'm really looking for is just some acknowledgement from LOCAC in general, Land Use Committee, whoever, that that you want to maintain the street width to the maximum we can do it in order to accommodate the farmer's market.
Can I ask what project manager you're working with on this?
Andy Knighton.
Okay. We will reach out to Andy, see what we can find out for you.
Okay. Yeah, and we're still working with Public Works. We've been working with them on this for 2 years. And
Okay.
for those of you who may not know where that project is, it's the old gas station. I don't know how many of you were around when it was a gas station, but it's the old gas station project.
And then it was a thrift store.
Yeah, it was a thrift store, a jewelry store. It was a
Yeah.
mechanic shop. It was a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
so-
Well, thank you so much.
Okay. And could I say one more quick thing?
Sure.
I'm on the planning group in Mission Beach, and I'll tell you, with the new state laws, be vigilant about all these new land use laws. SB 9 and SB 10 allow 10 units on a single family lot or house. Be
Wow.
careful. We're fighting it down here in Mission Beach.
Yeah, I thought it was only like 2 houses and then 2 ADUs, but 10, so it could be an apartment building.
Yes, and they've
Wow.
already built a couple in Long Beach and here based on that in single family residential areas. So I'm just saying, be vigilant.
All right.
Thank
Okay,
you
well,
so
thank you
much.
very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Next up, we have a subdivision proposal.
And
Let's see.
Edwards is the agent on it tonight.
Okay.
Let him discuss it.
Yes, good evening. My name is Jeff Edwards, and I'm appearing for Rocky Setting in connection with the Sea Pines Golf Resort and the lot line adjustment that's before you. The application isn't proposing to create any new parcels. It's adjusting the areas between 3 parcels so that the house that you may know that's on Petro Road can sit on its own little lot. So that is what's happening. The resulting lot will be 0.38 acres in area, so it's a little over a third of an acre. It's nice size. And the home's already there, so it's fully developed. There will be no new development as part of this application. The request would be to move it along to LOCAC.
Okay, I have one question, which is the house on the county sewer system currently?
Yes,
Okay, and how about the rest of the golf course? Is that on the sewer?
yes.
Okay. And then are they on their own well, or are they on one of the purveyors out here for water?
Golf course is actually served by both S&T and Golden State. And then it has its own on-site well that's used for golf course irrigation. So two
Okay.
purveyors and an on-site well.
So
Okay.
aren't they using some recycled water on the golf course?
Some,
And
it's blended with the well water.
right,
What?
where does that come in through? Golden State, or I mean, how does it get there?
They have a purple pipe.
Oh, okay,
It's a dedicated line from the county system.
okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
No, I have questions.
yeah, Trish, go ahead with your questions.
So the questions I have, and thank you for being here tonight, is when we looked at, well, when I started counting up the first 3 parcels, added up to 26.6 acres. Then you said that they're going to be, the change is going to be 27.4 acres and the house is 0.38 acres. And it looks like the putting green and the little clubhouse store is 4.5 acres. Well, that equals 32.28 acres. So we're
Mhm.
missing like 5.7 acres somewhere.
Yeah, the math is
The
not
math does
accurate.
not go together.
Yeah, I agree. MBS surveys did they did the math. So I'll circle back and make sure that all gets corrected. It does
Yeah.
equal, be rest assured that the numbers do work out, but I can see what you're suggesting here.
Yeah, because before it goes to LOCAC, I really want to make sure that we have all of the numbers correct.
Oh, I can get you the numbers tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
No problem.
And I had a question on, so
Can-
there'll be,
Hold on one second. Were you done with your questions, or
The only
do you have
other,
any other?
yeah, the only other question I have is on parcel 3. It states on the form that it's not near the wetlands, but I went out and walked it and it is right there near the wetlands. So is there a discrepancy there, or how's that working?
Well, the wetlands delineation has significance. And I'm sure what you've suggested, there may be some issue or discrepancy, but the importance of that wetland delineation is for purposes of setting back development. And in this case, we've already got the home that's been set back. When it was approved, the wetland setback was established. Moreover, there's an open space easement over much of that property that primarily is for setback purposes from the willows. So
Okay.
all the developments, it's done right there. So there won't be any further development within that wetland setback area.
Okay. Are there any other questions from council members? Becky?
yeah, I did. I was wondering, is the purpose to divide these up? So it's being divided up and it won't be part of the golf course and they'll be sold as separate lots, or?
Again, this is really, it's creating a lot underneath the residence so that it can, and really Sea Pines doesn't have any intent of selling right now or intention. What it does allow them to do is finance separately. So if you can imagine financing a golf course when you have one big property and there's one large loan, they'd rather have the residence on its own parcel so it can be financed with residential financing, which is quite different than commercial financing.
Mhm.
So that's really what the thrust behind this is, to create a residential parcel that they can secure residential financing for.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Simple.
thank you.
Okay,
Are there any other council
any
members?
other council members, questions? Seeing-
Lindy's got her hand up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seeing none, let's go to Lindy. Go ahead, Lindy.
You have to unmute.
Oh,
Just a minute.
hold a minute, hold on. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember a little bit of discussion about the private well. Is that on the piece of where the residence is?
No. The
And how
residence
did-
is served by community water and by community sewer.
And what water provider?
Golden State is the water purveyor for the residents.
For the residents, okay.
Yes.
And then the private well is on the remaining parts of the lot someplace?
There's the Sea Pines well is on the main golf course area on the west side of Solano. The Golden State Water Company has a well site at that property east of Solano and north of Skyline. So that's the first hole. So there's a well there, but it's a Golden State well. So there are no well. The Sea Pines has one well out on the main golf course.
Okay, thank you.
Jacob,
Can you hear me? I just wanted to check.
your hand.
Awesome. I had one question. The county put an info hold on this project because one of the maps appeared to have 4 plots on it. And I just wanted confirmation you're expecting to have resolved the info hold before it goes to LOCAC general, if in fact we, approve it for that, basically.
I think there are a couple questions there. One is just equalizing the parcel sizes. That's real simple. The other info hold note that was sent out by Public Works had to do with more detail on the actual map, arrows and other details. The surveyor MBS has made all those corrections, and as I understand it, that was submitted to the county last week.
We're working with the client to tour, and he's trying to get clients to work on each man's elevator, so we do the, I think he's required.
I think we have some.
Yeah.
Yes, he's muted.
It's so weird that he can't even.
Brad, you have talking in the
I don't know what
background.
you're doing, shut up.
Yeah, it's not on my line.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Anyway, I believe that the information hold checklist questions have been addressed by the surveyor. I hope that answers the question. Planning doesn't have any holds.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none,
Make a motion.
would somebody like to make a motion to move this forward to the consent agenda? I guess to the consent agenda, knowing that there's a few details being worked out on the plans. Is that how would we handle it?
I'd like to make a motion that we send this on to LOCAC
Right,
with the stipulation that the total acreage, I think that was what Trish brought up,
Yeah,
be worked out and corrected beforehand. And that also something from the county that the information hold has been responded to, and just put it on the regular agenda for LOCAC.
on the regular agenda, not the consent agenda.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Would anyone like to second?
I'll second.
Okay, all
I
in favor? All in favor?
Sorry.
Raise your hands. Looks
Okay.
like we are unanimous.
Unanimous?
And could I ask Jeff a question? Just
Absolutely.
just about the sewer. Jeff, is the sewer line for the existing house there not, is it going through the golf course? Because I know someone on Petcho and they weren't allowed to hook up to the sewer on the bigger lots right there at is that Rosina that's behind the school? Is he still there?
Yes, he
He's
was
muted.
muted again.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry, I will unmute you, Jeff. Sorry about that. There you go.
Thank you. So Becky, your question again is,
So I was just wondering where that new house hooked into the sewer, because on Petcho, I know someone on the corner there of Petcho and I think it's Rosina, and they weren't allowed to hook up to the sewer, even
Yeah,
though they wanted to.
okay, so the Pacho Road residence is hooked up on Pacho Road.
Hmm.
The properties you're referring to are south of Skyline Drive and east of Pacho Road. They're in the Martin Tract. It's a different subdivision. This is Cuesta by the Sea.
Right. I just,
Martin
thinking-
Tract is larger parcels. They don't have
Right.
service.
right, I know. It made it sound like there wasn't a sewer line going down Pacho.
Oh, yeah,
But-
there is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just seems
Yeah.
odd that they
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
allowed
Yeah,
to hook up.
there's the line. That's how they hook up, right on Pacho.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, so we will go on to agenda item B for the minor use permit for vacation rental at 408 Lilac. And we have the applicant here, Linda Gallarducci. Did I pronounce it right?
And I'm going to ask you to unmute. There you go.
Yes, you got that right.
Okay, so maybe you could just tell everyone a little bit about your project.
Okay, my family, my husband and I bought this house in October 2022. We have a lot of family in the area. My sister-in-law actually lives like 3 blocks away from the house. So we're from Central California, so we spend a lot of time out there. So we were looking to invest and hopefully one day we'll be out there with the rest of our family. So we found this house that we thought was awesome. So we bought it. And at the time I submitted for this permit, I knew I needed to rent it. I wasn't really interested in long-term renting because the house was, you know, it's nice. It's fixed up. I wanted to keep an eye on my house. I wanted to make sure that it was treated well and that, you know, I knew who was there and that kind of stuff. So I applied for what is it? Short-term
Vacation rental.
vacation rental. But then I learned about this whole process afterwards. So I wasn't really quite sure what I was getting myself into. And then, so in the meantime, for the last 19 months, I have been doing midterm rentals. So anything over 30 days. And I have to say, I've been really happy with the people that I've been able to have. I've gotten along really well with all my neighbors. I make sure that all the tenants that do stay in the house are, you know, have background checks, or I do have through Airbnb over 30 days, but it's not automatic booking. They have to let me know what they're doing in town and stuff like that. So I'm very careful with who I let in there. I've had anywhere from traveling nurses who come to do work and slow that have stayed in there. I had a family that's now for 2 years in a row stayed for over a month to get out of the heat. They love the neighborhood. It's just a family friendly area. I've had a lot of people that their kids moved away, their parents still live in Los Osos, and they want to come back and stay for like, you know, a couple months, and they've stayed with me. So I've had those kind of renters that'll stay. I'd say approximately probably 3 months is an average stay with us. And it's gone really, really well. So I'm still looking to do the short term, but it's mainly for I had already gone this far down the road before I knew what all this was ahead of me. I want to continue with the midterm because it's nicer not having to get new renters that often. But if there does come a time when, say, I have a break and I don't have any renters for like, you know, 6 months, I would like to be able to have an option of less than 30 days. But as of right now, like I said, for the past 19 months, I've been pretty steady with my midterm, and I know my neighbors they've been awesome, been amazing. I know them, I have their numbers, good communication. Like I said, I have my sister-in-law lives 3 blocks away, so even my nephews help take the trash out and do stuff like that. So I want to continue doing what I'm doing right now, but I am looking to do the vacation rental just because I know how rare it is to get it. You know, it's not something that a lot of people can get. And if I fall within those certain parameters, I'd like to kind of have it as my backup in case, you know, at some point I have a little break in it. Or if someone wants to stay over, I have a lot of people that'll say, my parents live in Los Osos, I want to rent a house for 2 weeks, but I can't do that right now. But if I didn't have midterm in there, I want to have the flexibility to do something like that.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
All right. Well, just so that for everyone else, anyone who reviewed the various plans, this project took quite a while to get done because of a garage unconversion. Is that what it was that was done?
Yeah, when I bought the house, they had built a room in the garage.
Mhm.
It didn't have like a closet or anything, but the previous owner had built one. And so it took me a little bit of time and so we just tore it down. It was like
Yeah.
3 walls.
Yeah.
And we took it down and it got cleared by the county inspector and everything. They came in and took care of that.
Okay.
So it's
And
back to a garage.
Yeah. So basically, if anyone had looked at the plans and not seen any bedrooms on the plans that had come into the county, I think they missed the 2nd floor. So this is a 2-story house. It's got living space on the 1st floor with 1 bathroom, and then the 2nd floor has 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. So the only questions I had were really about what was the county going to say was the maximum number of people that could stay there based on their requirements for parking. And I don't know if that was,
It would be 6.
it would be 6 people. Okay. And that was from the Dane Mueller.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is a request to have a vacation rental
With
a maximum of 6 people in a residential neighborhood. So let's see. So do any of the council members have any questions about this this proposal project?
Brad, let me unmute you. Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself, Brad. You're still muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
In the plans, there was some question. Okay, in the plan that question about parking setback, that the minimum setback was not met by, I don't know, 4 feet or something like that. It's 38 feet versus 34 feet. Has that been resolved?
Yeah, by converting the garage into 2 parking spaces.
Yes, and I got a clarification from.
Okay, so converting the garage gave you sufficient setback?
Mhm.
And they do have room for 2 cars. And they have
Okay,
two parking spaces are required for a single family home vacation rental. And with your garage and your driveway, you have enough room for that. So we got some last minute information from the project manager of the planning department this afternoon.
Okay, does any other council members have any questions about this project? Anyone from the public have any questions on this project? Seeing none, would somebody like to make a motion to?
Just a motion.
Just a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
So Becky, you're making a motion to send this to LOCAC as a consent item or
Yes.
as a regular item?
I don't know which one's better. I think it sounds fine, so.
Well, I think because there's no questions, I think it can definitely go on the consent agenda versus
Okay.
our first one that we saw tonight.
Okay, so I make a motion to send this as a consent item to LOCAC.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, all in favor, raise your hand.
Okay, unanimous.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I
Okay,
appreciate it.
yeah, thank you for joining our meeting, and I'll send you a text with the info on our next meeting, which is the 4th Thursday of the month at 6:30 p.m. But I'll send you a message on that, an email, just in case you want to attend that. But that's
So
not.
it will be on the 22nd of August at 6:30 p.m. Okay, thank
Good.
you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, moving on to our last item. Do we have any business items?
Unless we want to bring up time.
Yeah, let's do it. So one item that we were considering for possibly putting on the agenda for next month was possibly changing the meeting time to a little earlier, either 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. And just curious if people thought that was a good idea, or some people think 7 is too late.
Okay, Brad's a yes.
I'm up. Yeah, 6:30.
6:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
That worked
Yeah,
well
I'll
for
go.
the meeting.
And the next Monday is the next meeting time is a holiday, Labor Day. Are we still planning on meeting on holidays?
Oh,
No, what we will do is, if we have no projects for September, we'll just cancel it. If we do have a project for September, then what we will do is send out a alternative time. And Molly and I can work on that now. I did not look ahead to September,
oh yeah, it is Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, if there's no further points of discussion, we can go ahead and adjourn the meeting. So thank you everyone for being here, and I think it went pretty fast.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, thank you.
One question, was anybody else having audio problems, or was it just me?
No,
I think it was you.
You dropped out at one point.
Okay, all right, yeah, there was a lot of conversation for me that was cutting in and out, and it's fine now, so I don't know what it was. Okay, thank you.
I don't know.
Bye.
Okay, thank you,
All right,
everyone.
thank you, everybody.